I had Michael Cohen on yesterday. I read your blurb for his new book, Revenge. But, it's interesting. We were joking with him about his famous says who.
Yeah.
But he was talking about the polls, and that's when the follow-up interview, Travis, we have to ask, is he was famously, they were saying, Trump's losing in all the polls in 2016. He's like, says who? And I'm curious, did he know, what was happening with Manafort and sharing polling data with Russia? And because I was thinking, wow, why is he so confident that they're going to win? It's just, I'd be curious to ask Michael a bunch of questions now that he's, come to the light, right?
Yeah, I think Trump was confident he was going to win because he has cheated all his life.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that his cheating enabled him to win. His cheating enabled him to grift, to get what he wanted, and to not be held accountable for his wrongdoing. So listen, when he was engaged in campaign finance crimes in a conspiracy with Michael Cohen to bury deeply damaging information from the voters, in a very real sense, robbing us of the full value of our vote. He knew he was going to get away with it, and he knew it would help him win. When he stepped on a national stage and said, Russia, help me cheat, he got away with it. That I think is why he had a confidence level.
Yeah. Well, also, Glenn, we were saying to Michael, do these lawyers now not notice that all his former lawyers are either in prison, on their way to prison, or disbarred? You were saying we're at the point where the lawyers are pointing fingers at each other about the mar-a-lago documents, right?
Yeah, Christina Bobb is pointing fingers at Evan Corcoran. They are two, and I worked with Evan back in the day. We had a case in common at the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. I hate to see people who fall from grace and who decide to take on clients who are trying to destroy our democracy. Steph, I understand everybody is entitled to zealous representation, but for gosh sakes, exercise a little bit of judgment about the clients you take on. And now Christina Bobb is saying, whoa. Evan Corcoran took lead on making sure all of the classified stuff was turned back over to the federal government. When your own lawyers are pointing the finger at each other, it's all going to come crumbling down.
Yep. One last one real quick. Clarence Thomas stumping for Herschel Walker. Fill in your own jokes there, but you just said it's time for a renaissance of ethics in government because justice matters. There's just no lines that haven't been crossed at this point, right?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Oh no. We lost him right before. I feel like that was going to be a mic drop, whatever he was going to say. Now
I know how Ivanka feels every Friday night.
John Louise Fugelsang. Glenn, your thoughts on Clarence Thomas campaigning for Herschel Walker?
The Supreme Court continues to lose legitimacy by the day. And, frankly, I don't want a Supreme Court that the people can't respect, because that sort of moves us in the direction of anarchy. And really the only way to remedy this is the same way we can remedy so many of our nation's ills right now. And it is to vote. It's to vote, hopefully, supermajorities into the House, into the Senate. Then we can address all of these problems with common sense legislation. It's not rocket science.
Real quick, Dash on Twitter says Trump's Truth Social posts, which he has one right now, can be used against him in court. Falsely accusing the FBI of planting evidence is a crime. Inciting violence against the DOJ is a crime as well. Trump's violated multiple federal laws since he publicized the Mar-a-Lago investigation. Arrogance is his downfall. What's your take on that legally?
His every word is admissible against him under a rule of evidence called a statement by a party opponent. And I think one of the things that gives prosecutors pause, Steph, is because he commits crime in the harsh light of day and he admits to it and he talks about it. It gives us pause because that's not what criminals typically do. And I hope the prosecutors get over that hesitation, because all that means is we have a more robust case to bring against it. If the bank robber was out in the streets screaming, "Hey, folks, I robbed the bank because I thought they were unlawfully holding my money," we wouldn't pause. We wouldn't hesitate. We would lock them up. And that's what we got to do to Donald Trump.
I'm not sure if it's illegal to put you and John Fugelsang and Hal Sparks and Carl Frisch all in a room at the same time with the amount of sexiness. But we're doing it anyway in D.C. September 10th.